Hi, welcome to Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City. How are you? Welcome back. Or welcome here. It depends on who you are and how often you visit, right? Okay. Well, we're in what I like to call the tea garden or the coffee garden this morning. I'm kind of looking around at some of the things I need to do today. Now, I get asked quite a few times about the garden and how long it takes me to maintain it and how many hours I'm spending a day working on my garden. And one of the things that really surprises people when I give them an answer is that not much time. One of the things that has saved me a lot of time is that I have planted perennials in my garden. In my flower garden and in my vegetable garden. So we're going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time today talking about those things. When we first moved into this little house here, we loved the big backyard. That was one of the selling points. There were two things that I really loved about this house. The front porch where my office is now and the yard space. I really loved it. It was beautiful. And when we got here, the yard looked very different from the way it looks now. It was landscaped, very nice. It was very nice, but it didn't match me and my aesthetic. And my aesthetic is very maximalist. I like a lot of everything, a lot of things to see, and surprises and everything tucked away, a little surprise here or there. So it took me a while to figure out exactly where I was going with the garden, and there were many different periods of the garden that has changed. At one time, I dug everything up that was already, when we got here, there were a lot of really nice flowers and bushes and things. And at one time, I just dug everything up and planted all red flowers. I don't know why, I just wanted everything red. So I planted all red flowers. And after a couple of years, I changed my mind and decided I wanted all purple flowers. So I dug everything up and planted purple flowers. I think that had to do with the bees at that time, when I thought the bees prefer purple flowers. And then I didn't like the way purple looked. I didn't like all that, the way it looked. So I decided to plant all white flowers. And I've had all white flowers, I would say, for about 5 or 6 years now. And I really like it. I like it a lot. I like to come out early in the morning before the sun comes up and sit outside and I can still see my flowers. I like to come out at night when it's dark out or at sunset and the flowers are really shine up. So I like to do that. So that's one of the reasons I really like my white flowers. I also just really like the cottagey feel in a flower garden, and so I wanted to plant a lot of different varieties, and I've learned a lot over the years about planting flowers. Not only have I changed the flower beds, but when we moved in, there were trees, mature trees in our backyard, a lot of them, and some of them were very close to the house. So there wasn't really any place for a vegetable garden because it was so shady. Eventually, though, the trees were sick and were not in very good shape, and we were afraid that they were going to fall on the house during a windstorm or something, so we had them cut down. And that gave me a space for where my vegetable garden is now. It's pretty sunny, not entirely all day sun, but it's pretty sunny, and I've managed to work it out where I get vegetables, you know, I can get things to grow. And I'm still learning what will grow well and what won't grow well there in that little area that I have in my small vegetable bed. So things were completely different when we moved in. Let's walk around a little bit so I can show you the gardens and point out some of my perennials in my flower gardens and in my vegetable gardens. You're going to see in my garden that I have a lot of the same thing. I have hostas, estabile, daylilies, gladiolas, phlox, butterfly bushes, salvia, and alyssum. The alyssum isn't exactly a perennial, but it does reseed itself, so it's kind of like a perennial. But everything else I've been splitting and adding to my garden here and there. The herb garden has a few perennials as well. I have a bee balm, sage, and fennel, and a lot of thyme. I let the cilantro reseed itself. I also have some oregano. I keep the chives and the mint in pots so they don't go crazy. The fairy garden does not have any perennials. As much as I would love for the rosemary to come back, it just doesn't. Strawberries are some perennials that I use in my vegetable garden. These are all new babies just from last year, so I probably will get some strawberries next year. I also have some blueberries and blackberries. I have plenty of thyme growing by the beehive as well. I just harvested my rhubarb, but here it is, coming back again. The coneflowers in the garden are very colorful and very beautiful. I don't know if you remember that I planted asparagus in my garden this fall, and I'm hoping that next year I'm going to have all kinds of asparagus to eat. Summer is officially here and it's in full swing, so it's very hot. I just finished eating some ice cream. I made sure the animals all had fresh water, and we're just kind of hanging out because it's just too warm to really do anything. And the pools are all closed and everything too. You know, they're closing the pools because of the air quality. They don't want people to be outside. I didn't know it was that bad, and here I am telling you all to get outside. So I'm not really sure. I guess I'll have to do a little bit of research on that, you know, or let me know in the comments how your area is and what you're doing. Because, you know, we need to get outside. We need to get that vitamin D. There's so many other things that being outside does for you, emotionally and physically. Being outside does a lot of stuff for you, and it's kind of sad that the air quality is so bad that they are discouraging people to go outside. Anyway, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of your kind thoughts as well. You're all so very special, each and every one of you. So, I guess we'll see you next time. Get outside if you can. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Love you.